The landscape of the performing arts is often defined by those rare, luminous individuals whose creative instincts cannot be confined to a single lane or a single medium. When we look back at the tapestry of modern entertainment, there are moments that stand out not simply because of the scale of a production or the bright lights of a soundstage, but because of the genuine human warmth radiating through the screen and directly into the hearts of audiences across generations. Every so often, a presence emerges that possesses an innate ability to connect, to comfort, and to inspire, leaving an indelible imprint on our shared cultural memory long before the full scope of their journey is understood. It is a quiet kind of magic, the sort that does not demand attention through grand spectacle or relentless self-promotion, but rather commands it effortlessly through sincerity, versatile craftsmanship, and an undeniable passion for storytelling. As we begin to peel back the layers of a truly remarkable creative journey, we find ourselves drawn into a world where childhood wonder, lifelong artistic dedication, and intimate personal bonds intertwine to create something profoundly meaningful. To truly appreciate the path of an artist who moves fluidly between different artistic disciplines, one must first consider the environments that nurture such extraordinary sensitivity and expressiveness from an early age. The entertainment world is filled with performers who specialize in one craft, mastering either the spoken word, the emotional resonance of song, or the kinetic energy of movement. Yet there exists an exceptional circle of creators for whom these distinct disciplines are merely different dialects of the very same artistic language. They understand that a melody can convey what dialogue cannot, that a subtle glance on camera can speak louder than an entire monologue, and that the rhythm of a scene relies entirely on emotional honesty. Throughout television history, particularly within the realm of transformative educational programming and family entertainment, this delicate balance has been the cornerstone of moments that remain etched in our collective consciousness for decades. As viewers, we often remember the feeling of sitting in front of the screen, captivated by an atmosphere that felt both larger than life and as intimate as our own living rooms, creating a bridge of trust between the performer and the world watching at home. Before we venture deeper into this extraordinary narrative and explore the profound creative tapestry that connects television history, musical expression, and an inseparable family bond, please take a brief moment to support our channel by subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and sharing this journey with others who cherish deep dives into genuine artistry. Your support allows us to continue bringing forward these detailed explorations of remarkable lives and enduring creative legacies. When we reflect on the golden eras of children's television and formative educational broadcasting, we recognize that the medium holds a unique and sacred place in society. It is a space where art is not merely entertainment, but an essential catalyst for empathy, emotional growth, and imaginative discovery. Generations of children have grown up watching programs that felt like safe havens, guided by familiar faces who offered reassurance, gentle humor, and lessons that stretched far beyond the basics of letters and numbers. Within these legendary sets, the energy brought by guest performers and recurring figures often created singular, unforgettable episodes that resonated with viewers long after the credits rolled. There was an art to stepping onto such iconic stages, a requirement that an artist bring their most authentic self, completely stripped of artifice, because young audiences can immediately sense insincerity. To thrive in that environment required a purity of spirit and a natural joy that could light up a frame without overwhelming it, drawing in both child and parent into a shared moment of warmth. Yet the stage and the television camera represent only a portion of the creative horizon for a multifaceted creator. Long before public recognition arrived, there were countless hours of quiet devotion, of honing skills behind closed doors, of exploring melodies in solitary spaces, and of discovering how the human voice can carry emotions that words alone fail to articulate. In the realm of acoustic and folk traditions, music becomes a diary, an intimate conversation between the singer and the listener that transcends time and physical distance. The transition from acting on a structured set to composing and performing original music requires a brave vulnerability, stripping away the protective shield of a character or a script to reveal the core of one's own lived experience. When an artist takes that leap, stepping into the studio to craft sounds that reflect their deepest worldview, they offer the public a window into their soul, creating a body of work that stands as a testament to their boundless inner drive. Behind every public appearance and every recorded song lies a foundation built on personal connections, shared histories, and the unspoken understandings that only exist within the tightest of family circles. The entertainment industry can be an unpredictable and demanding arena. Yet having someone by your side who shares your blood, your upbringing, and your deepest aspirations transforms the entire journey. When two people grow up side by side, discovering their creative inclinations in tandem, a unique harmony develops between them. One that is instantly recognizable to anyone who has ever witnessed genuine familial unity. This dynamic creates a distinct energy on screen and behind the scenes, an unspoken shorthand that enhances every performance, making every shared frame feel electric and authentic. It is an extraordinary phenomenon to witness, providing an anchor of reality within an industry that is so often characterized by fleeting trends and superficial interactions. As we look toward the heart of this unfolding story, we are reminded that true talent does not exist in isolation, but constantly seeks new outlets for expression. Whether through the vibrant cadence of a musical performance, the careful nuance of an on-screen appearance, or the expressive physical storytelling of dance, the drive to create remains an all-consuming force. Those who worked closely behind the scenes with such individuals frequently speak of an irrepressible spark, an everyday commitment to the craft that went far beyond mere professional obligation. It was about a constant pursuit of beauty, a desire to leave the world a little brighter, a little kinder, and far more inspired than they found it. The impact of such dedicated creators ripples outward in ways that cannot always be measured in numbers or awards, but rather in the enduring impressions left upon collaborators, peers, and the audiences who felt a genuine kinship through the screen. In the chapters that follow, we will step directly into the heart of this captivating legacy, uncovering the specific milestones, the cherished television appearances alongside family, the heartfelt melodies that touched listeners worldwide, and the profound reflections of those who stood closest to this journey. The stage has been set, the quiet prelude has been played, and the full dimensions of a vibrant life dedicated entirely to the arts are about to be revealed in all their detail and emotional depth. When the bright lights of production illuminate a television soundstage, every detail matters, but nothing resonates quite like the rare and undeniable chemistry of performers whose connection is rooted in reality. For Christy, stepping onto the legendary set of Sesame Street was not simply another credit in a burgeoning portfolio of professional acting engagements, but rather a profoundly meaningful milestone that bridged her private life with public artistry. Sesame Street has always been more than just a staple of children's television. It is a cultural institution that has shaped generations of young minds through its unique blend of education, humor, empathy, and community. To enter that historic neighborhood as a guest performer requires an authentic ability to engage with both human co-stars and beloved puppet characters in a manner that feels entirely natural, warm, and inviting. Over the course of 3 memorable episodes, Christy brought an effortless radiance to the screen, seamlessly integrating herself into the fabric of the show and capturing the imaginations of viewers who tuned in to witness the everyday magic of that iconic street dot. What elevated these appearances from standard television guest spots into truly historic, heartwarming moments was the deeply personal dynamic unfolding within the frame. Christy appeared on screen alongside her real-life twin brother, Christy Knowings, who was already established as a beloved series regular on the program. For years, Chris had been a cornerstone of the neighborhood's daily life, embodying a welcoming, energetic, and supportive figure for millions of children who saw him as an older brother, mentor, and friend. When Christy joined him on the set, the energy shifted into something utterly extraordinary. The connection between twin siblings possesses a rare, unspoken depth, an intuitive rhythm and shared history that cannot be manufactured by any rehearsal or script. Viewers at home, along with the cast and production crew on set, could immediately feel the authenticity of their interactions, as every shared smile, playful exchange, and collaborative moment reflected a lifetime of mutual love, understanding, and shared dreams. The presence of real-life twins on a show dedicated to emotional learning and social development offered a brilliant opportunity to showcase the beauty of familial bonds to young audiences. Children watching at home were treated to a genuine display of camaraderie, witnessing firsthand how siblings can support, uplift, and celebrate one another through creative collaboration. The joy that emanated from their scenes together was palpable, creating a vibrant atmosphere that stood out even among the rich history of guest appearances on the program. Fans of the show celebrated this pairing, noting how effortlessly the two complemented each other's comedic timing and expressive warmth. For Christy and Chris, Being able to share that historic workspace was a culmination of their shared upbringing, transforming their childhood creative play into a professional reality that reached living rooms all across the globe. Yet, as remarkable as her contributions to television were, acting was merely one facet of a profoundly diverse artistic identity. Beyond the cameras, the structured television scripts, and the bustling energy of the soundstage, Christy possessed a deep and enduring devotion to the world of music. She was an exceptionally gifted singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist, whose sonic sensibilities were rooted in the rich storytelling traditions of folk music. For Christy, music was not a casual hobby or an afterthought. It was an essential, vital form of self-expression, where she could explore personal truths, emotional nuance, and universal themes of hope, resilience, and human connection. She spent countless hours refining her vocal range, mastering instruments, and crafting lyrics that carried both intimate vulnerability and wide-reaching emotional power, demonstrating a level of musicianship that commanded the utmost respect from fellow artists across the industry. In the year 2020, during a period when the world was navigating unprecedented isolation and uncertainty, Christy channeled her artistic energy into a powerful musical offering, officially releasing a poignant and beautifully crafted folk single titled "To the World." The release of this song marked a pivotal chapter in her creative journey, presenting her voice in its purest, most direct form. "To the World" stood out as a beacon of light during a challenging era, characterized by gentle acoustic arrangements, soul-stirring melodies, and lyrics that spoke to the collective longing for unity, healing, and understanding. The single demonstrated her sophisticated understanding of the folk genre, relying on organic instrumentation and raw vocal delivery rather than heavy studio production to convey its profound message. Listeners were deeply moved by the sincerity embedded within every note, discovering an artist who was unafraid to pour her entire heart into her compositions. The creation and release of "To the World" also highlighted the sheer breadth of her creative discipline, proving that her artistic vision extended far beyond interpreting the words of screenwriters. Writing and producing an original musical piece requires an entirely different set of creative muscles, demanding complete vulnerability and an unwavering trust in one's personal voice. Christy embraced this challenge with immense passion and grace, handling the complexities of songwriting, arrangement, and vocal performance with the finesse of a seasoned musician. The song resonated widely, earning admiration not only from those who had followed her television appearances, but also from dedicated music enthusiasts, who recognized the genuine artistry and poetic depth woven into her musical style. It served as a definitive statement of her identity as an independent singer-songwriter whose creative horizons knew no bounds. Behind the scenes of her multifaceted career stood a dedicated circle of professional supporters, collaborators, and mentors who recognized the singular nature of her talents. Among them was her longtime manager, Al Hill, who observed her artistic growth up close and understood the rare magnitude of her creative drive. In an industry often populated by individuals who specialize narrowly in a single domain, Al Hill remembered Christy as an extraordinarily multi-talented force of nature, a true Renaissance woman whose boundless imagination refused to be constrained. In a heartfelt statement honoring her remarkable life and legacy, Hill reflected on her unstoppable creative energy, noting that whether the medium was singing, acting, or dancing, she was always creating. This profound assessment captured the absolute essence of her spirit, emphasizing that art was not merely what she did, but the very core of who she was on a daily basis. This relentless drive to create transformed every project she touched into something memorable, leaving a lasting impression on everyone fortunate enough to collaborate with her. In rehearsal spaces, recording booths, dance studios, and on television sets, she brought an infectious enthusiasm and an uncompromising work ethic that elevated the people around her. Her ability to pivot effortlessly from the precise choreography and physical discipline of dance to the emotional subtlety of an acting scene, and then to the delicate phrasing of a folk ballad, spoke volumes about her dedication to mastery. She viewed each artistic discipline as an interconnected branch of the same tree, using the rhythm of dance to inform her musical phrasing and the emotional truth of acting to bring depth to her songwriting. As the full scope of her creative journey comes into focus, the narrative reveals a portrait of an artist whose life was an unending symphony of expression, resilience, and genuine warmth. The seamless transition between her memorable appearances on Sesame Street alongside her twin brother and the heartfelt acoustic resonance of "To the World" reflects a rare harmony between public performance and intimate self-expression. Every step of her path was defined by an authentic desire to touch lives, to share joy, and to contribute something lasting and beautiful to the world. As we look deeper into the significance of these achievements and the enduring impact of her legacy, the true magnitude of what she accomplished across multiple creative frontiers becomes increasingly undeniable and profoundly inspiring. When we evaluate the lasting significance of an artistic life, we inevitably look past the simple chronology of dates and credits to examine the enduring emotional footprint left upon the world. The story of Christy is not merely a collection of television guest appearances or single-track releases. It is a profound testament to the power of pure, unfiltered creative expression, lifelong dedication to multiple disciplines, and the deep, unbreakable connections formed through family and collaboration. In an entertainment landscape that often encourages performers to fit into narrow commercial boxes, her path stood out as a vibrant reminder that true artistry thrives when an individual embraces the full spectrum of their gifts without compromise. Whether she was illuminating the screen on an iconic children's program, crafting delicate acoustic melodies in a recording studio, or moving with graceful precision across a dance floor, she lived as a complete creator, bringing boundless enthusiasm, warmth, and authenticity to every room she entered. The cultural resonance of her appearances on Sesame Street, alongside her twin brother Christy Knowings, holds a unique and treasured position in the history of family programming. Children's television at its highest level is an intricate and delicate medium. It is not simply designed to entertain, but to serve as a mirror through which young viewers learn to understand their own feelings, relationships, and place in the broader community. When real-life siblings share the screen in such a warm and organic setting, they provide children with an authentic model of companionship, mutual respect, and shared laughter that no scripted performance could ever completely invent. The visible joy and unspoken shorthand that existed between Christy and Chris brought an irreplaceable dimension of warmth to those 3 special episodes, creating television moments that felt deeply grounded, affectionate, and genuinely memorable for millions of families watching at home. For fans of the program, seeing the Knowings twins together was a rare and beautiful gift, offering a glimpse into a lifelong bond that enriched the show's enduring mission of spreading kindness, inclusivity, and wonder. Beyond her screen appearances, her musical contributions, epitomized by her 2020 folk single To the World, continue to carry a timeless, emotional weight that transcends the circumstances of its initial release. The folk genre has always served as the musical conscience of humanity, a storytelling medium where stripped-down instrumentation and heartfelt vocal delivery communicate the most profound universal truths. In crafting To the World, Christy offered a musical sanctuary during a period of widespread global reflection, pouring her empathy, optimism, and poetic sensitivity into every verse and chorus. The song stands as a permanent artistic statement, showcasing her remarkable vocal control, her intuitive melodic sense, and her ability to speak directly to the human heart without relying on manufactured theatricality. It serves as a lasting reminder of how music can heal, connect, and elevate the human spirit, capturing an artist at the absolute height of her reflective and expressive powers. The reflections shared by those who worked alongside her behind the scenes, particularly the evocative words of her manager, Al Hill, offer an essential window into her day-to-day creative philosophy. When Hill characterized her as a truly multi-talented force who was always creating, whether singing, acting, or dancing, he described a lifestyle defined by perpetual motion and unbridled imagination. For many performers, the artistic process is an intermittent effort that begins and ends with an audition, a production call sheet, or a studio booking. For Christy, however, creation was a continuous, vital breath that animated every single day of her existence. She understood that every lived experience, every observation, and every human interaction could be transformed into a piece of music, a subtle acting beat, or an expressive physical movement, enriching not only her own life, but the lives of everyone in her orbit. Her mastery across the realms of singing, acting, and dance also highlights the rare discipline required to maintain excellence across multiple distinct art forms. Each of these fields demands its own rigorous physical training, mental focus, and emotional dedication. Mastering one is an achievement of a lifetime, but fluidly navigating all 3 requires an extraordinary level of determination, intellect, and innate passion. In dance, she found the discipline of physical precision and the ability to express complex emotion through movement alone. In acting, she honed the art of emotional empathy, active listening, and the delicate nuance of human interaction. In music, she unlocked the deepest corridors of her soul, transforming personal thought into timeless melody. These disciplines did not exist in separate compartments within her. Rather, they constantly informed and enriched one another, creating a multifaceted artistic identity that was as versatile as it was genuinely unique. As we look back at the overarching journey of her life and career, we are reminded of the profound ripple effect that dedicated artists create within their communities and beyond. True success in the arts is rarely measured solely by commercial metrics or public accolades. Instead, it is measured by the quality of the connections made along the way, the inspiration sparked in fellow performers, and the quiet comfort delivered to everyday audiences who find solace in a song or joy in a television broadcast. Christy achieved something truly extraordinary. She created an authentic, multidimensional body of work that continues to speak to viewers and listeners with the same freshness, warmth, and emotional clarity as the moment it was conceived. Her creative footprint remains an enduring beacon for young artists everywhere who dream of singing their own songs, telling their own stories, and creating without boundaries or limitations. The path she walked, surrounded by loving family, respected collaborators, and adoring fans, stands as a celebration of what it truly means to live a life devoted to the arts. From the historic sets of Sesame Street, where she stood side by side with her beloved brother, to the acoustic resonance of her folk music carrying across the airwaves to listeners everywhere, her journey remains a radiant example of artistic purity and boundless human generosity. Her story reminds us that when creativity is fueled by love, shared with family, and given freely to the world, its light never dims, continuing to inspire, uplift, and comfort all who discover it for generations to come. In every melody that lingers, in every broadcast that brings a smile to a child's face, and in every heartfelt tribute to her unstoppable creative energy, her legacy endures as a timeless work of art in itself, forever vibrant, forever cherished, and forever alive.